This is Janet in Belton, and I say good afternoon. And this is Husbands Love Your Wives. This is Husbands Love Your Wives, and I'm so glad you decided to tune in to us today. And I hope everybody's out there doing wonderful. I hope everybody had a wonderful day, great day. We're here today, and we're going to be talking about, before we talk about what we're going to talk about, I want you all to like, share, and subscribe if you have not already done so. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to ask you, call someone that you know and tell them that we're ready. We're on. All right. And so this is what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about, and I hope everyone can see me. Let me come a little closer right here. Hope everybody can see me. Go ahead and take that down so we can go ahead and get started. Go ahead and take
You're
this
live
down.
right now, so
All right.
Yeah, we're just doing the poll.
Yeah, okay. And so what we're talking about is, we're talking about deadbeat dads. All right, we're talking about deadbeat dads. All right. Okay. And so I hope everybody's doing great out there today. And so I want to say good afternoon. It is 3:03 p.m. I want to say good afternoon to everyone. And I'm Janet in Belton. I am saying good afternoon. Today we're talking about deadbeat dads. Deadbeat dads. This is Husbands Love Your Wives. And we're talking about deadbeat dads. I hope everybody is doing well. We wanted to put the poll up, though. I just want to share this with you all because I have some information that I'd like to share about deadbeat dads, okay? But we had what I want to ask the question to everybody today. I wanted to ask the question, should deadbeat dads go to jail? That's the question I wanted to ask. Should deadbeat dads go to jail? Now, first of all, let's go ahead and define what is a deadbeat dad. A father who neglects his financial, emotional, or physical responsibility to their children. This is what we found out the definition of a deadbeat dad is. A father who neglects his financial, emotional, or physical responsibility to their children. Now, just want to bring this in there. I want you all to be thinking about that, but I want to bring this stigma versus the reality. Not all dads that cannot provide or unable or not willing to provide for their children, all of them would not be considered as deadbeat dads, okay? Because it's sometimes the man is going through different situations that won't allow him at a certain particular time in his life to provide for his family, because things do happen. But let me give you all some statistics, okay, about this. Let me just give you all, and the question is, should deadbeat dads go to jail? In the U.S., over 25% of children live without their biological father in the home. In the U.S., over 25% of children live without their biological father in the home. Custodial mothers are owed, listen to this, everyone. Custodial mothers are owed about $23 billion annually in unpaid child support. Okay, and this information is coming from the U.S. Census Bureau. All right, and so roughly 30% of custodial parents receive none of the child support that they are owed. only 43% of custodial parents receive the full child support amount due each year. The question I wanted to ask was, should deadbeat dads, should they go to jail? On average, children who do not live with their father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty. This is a big one, you all. This is a big one, okay? On average, children who do not live with their father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty. This is something that I really believe that we need to talk about. I believe we need to have a conversation. I believe we need to have a conversation, and right now, I've just asked for, because I want to see what you all have to say about this. This is an important conversation to have. Should deadbeat dads go to jail? Okay? Because, and this is, like I said, this is a big one. On average, children who do not live, do you see any of the comments? Children who do not live with their father what do you all feel about that? Children who do not live with their father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty because they don't live with their father. All right? All right. I just want to go there. I just wanted to go there. Should deadbeat dads go to jail? How do you all feel about that? Unpaid child support is a leading cause of single parent poverty. Unpaid child support is a leading cause of single parent poverty. I know a lot of women like to say, I'm going to do this by myself. And some women have to do things by themselves. Okay? They have to. There's no doubt. But not everybody. Some people choose to do that. Should deadbeat dads go to jail? I just voted myself. There is a gross lack of accountability. This is what Natalie says. A lot of men blame the child's mother for the inability to contribute or to be involved in their child's life, and that is a sign. Okay, all right. Let's move on. Let's see. Jonathan, oh my goodness. Well, how about that? How about this? Somebody says here, lock them up. That's what somebody is saying, lock them up. But I just want to know this. Let me let you all hear something else. Children without active fathers are more likely to experience. This is husband, love your wives. Children without active fathers are more likely to experience lower academic performance. Why? Because of the father not being active with them. Children without active fathers are more likely to experience higher risk of substance abuse. Children without active fathers are more likely to experience increased likelihood of entering the criminal justice system. All right? Listen, the U.S. spends billions yearly on welfare programs that could be reduced if all child support was paid. This is Husbands Love Your Wives. And this is Husband Love Your Wife podcast, and we're talking about deadbeat dads today. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about deadbeat dads. What is a deadbeat dad? I want everybody to hear about what a deadbeat dad is. A deadbeat dad is a father who neglects his financial, emotional, or physical responsibility to their children. That's a deadbeat dad, you all. That's a deadbeat dad. All right? Why some fathers become deadbeat dads. We talking about deadbeat dad, and one of the questions on the poll is, what I want to know is, should a deadbeat dad go to jail? When he's not supporting that child, those children, and he's neglecting them financially, he's neglecting them emotionally and the physical responsibilities. Some of you all know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you all know that it's up to the mom to get the child ready for school. It's up to the mom to feed the child. It's up to the mom to get the child their bath, in the morning or at night. It's up to the mom to make sure that homework is done. It's up to the mom to pay school fees. It's up to the mom to do everything. And we're talking about deadbeat dads today. A father who neglects his financial, emotional, or physical responsibility to their children. Okay, unpaid child support is a leading cause of single parent poverty. Unpaid child support, you all. All right? Why? This is what we're talking about. Why some fathers become deadbeat dads? That's a good question. Why do some fathers become deadbeat dads? Unemployment, low income. Some fathers can't afford the payments. That's what they say. But some fathers don't want to afford the payments because some fathers believe in doing other things with the money. They believe in, they have other things that they're put before their children, and they say, what do they say? Well, the mom will take care of it. Avoidance. Why some fathers become deadbeat. Avoidance. Okay, listen, what it said, is it ashes? This is what John says. A lot of people never had a father figure, so they don't know how. All right, very good, and that's very good. Some people need to see a father figure, but there's other ways that you can find out how to be a good dad. Ashes says, why only blame fathers? How about unfaithful wives? Well, you know what? That's a good question. They say here, isn't it the responsibility of both parents? That's what we're talking about. Ashes, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just saying deadbeat dads because when we found out the statistics, it's over 25% of children live without their biological father in the home. Okay? This is statistics. And what we're trying to say is that it's not good for the dad to be out on the run. It's not good for the dad to be doing different things and the mom is left with the children. That's what we're saying. It's not good for the mom to be left with the children and the dad is doing everything he wants to do. Okay? Why some fathers become deadbeat? Broken relationships. How about this one? Who can attest to this? All right? This is what it's, who can say, all right, I know what you're talking about. Conflict with the child's mother sometimes leads to withdrawal. Some men, when they have a conflict with the mother, they feel as though they can move on. and they leave the children, and they actually become a deadbeat dad because they're upset with the mother. They're upset with the mother. And the children, they're out there because the children, they can't work for themselves. They can't do things for themselves. So therefore, who's going to care for the children if the mother doesn't get out there and work? And the question that I had, I wanted to know, I wanted to know, is it right for a deadbeat dad, or should a deadbeat dad go to jail? All right, why some fathers become deadbeat? Mental health and addictions, substance abuse and depression often correlate with neglect. You all, that is so true. If that dad is on some type of substance abuse, that will cause him to sometimes not even care about anything or anyone than himself. And this is why some dads, some fathers become deadbeat, because of mental health problems and addictions. How about this? This is a good one here. Cycle of abandonment. Cycle of abandonment. Men who grew up without fathers are statistically more likely to abandon their own kids, their own children. This is what we're talking about today. We're talking about deadbeat dads. We're talking about dads that don't take care of their financial responsibility, the emotional responsibility, physical responsibility of their children. This is what we're talking about today. This is what we're talking about that today, and I want to know how you all feel about that. And one of the questions that I had is, is it right for a deadbeat dad to go to jail? That's what I want to know. Is that the answer? Is that the answer? Putting them in jail? Because once they get out of jail, then what are they going to do? Okay, Ashes says, deadbeat dads and unfaithful mothers both are horrible. Both should be jailed. Okay, now, if they're both jailed, then who's going to care for the children? I understand what you're saying, but if both parents go to jail, then where will the children go? Because I'm not going to throw the foster parents under the bus. I'm not going to throw them under the bus, foster parents, because there are some good foster homes, okay? But there are a lot of foster homes that are not that easy to find. I want to say that, okay? Because I've seen it. I've seen the statistics. I'm in that field, and they're not always easy to find good homes for the children. Who's going to care for the children, you all? If the parents, if the mom is unfaithful, okay? If both the parents can't take the responsibility, why have a child? Now you said that, Ashes, and I understand. I want to say that if both the parents can't take the responsibility, why have children? That is one great point. All right, okay, Queen Antoinette says, if the dad a deadbeat, the most likely the mother already taking care of the children. Yes, he deserves to go to jail until he pays child support. And the thing is, Queen, I want to ask this though, and I thank you for your comment. But if he goes to jail, and if he comes out, and still don't pay the child support, and it becomes a cycle, then what happens? What happens? There need to be some type of rehabilitation in this man's life, because and this is very important. This is an important conversation because what's happening to our children? Because we found out earlier that children that's not, that the dad is not in their life, what happens to the child? They're likely to enter into criminal justice system. It increased the likelihood of that. It's a higher risk of substance abuse and lower academic performances in school. Now it says 3 strikes rule for failure to pay. Oh wow, okay now. 3 strikes rule, all right. All right, the biological parent should pay the child support. Both the parents should be equally responsible. If one is working, one has to look after the child. All right, and then now it says no child should be subject to a life of poverty because a man is selfish. And you know, it does have a lot to do with that, you all, the selfishness of one parent, because you can, the wife or the other parent could be at work, but if you don't have the children's best interest at heart, you can be at home with the children and you can be doing other things, sleeping or, you know, or not caring for the children, not fixing food for the children, not, listen. I want to know who's going to take care of the children when all of the deadbeat dad syndrome is going on. I'm an advocate for the children. I like to speak up for the children. Here it is, as it says, Natalie used the term parent is selfish, using the term man is biased. All right, I understand that. And then she says here, Natalie says, I believe the non-custodial parent should carry most of the financial weight because they don't have the weight of daily care of the child. All right, you know, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Queen says this, I'm forced to work 2 jobs to take care of my child because I get no help from, I understand, her dad. Queen, I understand. And I will shout out to you, crown you queen, really, because I know what you're talking about. And this is what you do. You'll work 2 jobs to take care of your children. And you do what you have to do when you're put in that situation. That's awesome, Queen Antoinette. That's very good. All right. And I know that's not nothing that you probably really want to do, but you do what you have to do to care for your children. Because when you get involved with the other parent that's slack, or you don't know that in the beginning of the relationship. You don't know, you know, and that's the reason why a lot of times we have husband love your wives and we talk about the red flags of when you look at this and look at that, and will you be able to accept what that other party is bringing to the table? Will you be able to accept what their actions and what they do? Can you put up with a person, whether it's the male or female, laying in the bed all day and not contributing to the family as they should? Are you able to put up with that? Are you able to put up with someone that loves to drink, someone that has a substance abuse problem? Are you able to put up with that? Can you take it? You understand what I'm saying? Marriage or having a relationship, it's a two-way street. And when you bring children in it, oh my goodness, then you have to do more than what you were doing before the children came in on the scene. As it says, we should bring a new rule. You should only be allowed to have a child if and only if you are financially stable. If you're financially stable, then you can bring a child in the world. How about that? But I want to say this. Things happen in life, you all. You can be financially stable. I know a couple right now, they were making $100,000 or more a year. And once the contract was lost, then it went down. Okay, and I know that's common sense, but sometimes life gets to lifing, and your finances change. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you are deadbeat dad because your finances change. You're still responsible. You're still accountable. You should be accountable. You're still responsible for taking care of that child, be it financially, emotionally, and physically. You are still responsible. Queen says, absolutely, I have only one, and she's 11 years old now. I think that's great. And I commend you, and I really hope you do continue to do a great job at being a good mom. All right, so let's see here. Legal and policy in child support enforcement collects over $30 billion annually, but billions remain unpaid. States can suspend driver's license, garnish wages, or intercept tax refunds. Okay? Jail time is an option, but often criticized since it prevents men from working and paying. See, that's what I was saying, you all. Nellie said you should only be intimate if you are married, and they would save a lot of that's true. But then you can, like I said, you can still listen to this. You can get married, and if the man decides that he's upset or he's having conflict with the wife, and he wants to run out, and he doesn't want to share in the finances or anything regarding the child, then what? Then what? Because sometimes when, like we said before, when it runs into the conflict and men get upset with the woman, and then the men want to leave because not because they're upset with the children, but because they're upset with the woman, with the mother. You all get what I'm saying? All right, Queen says, everyone double tap your screen. This is a real conversation we need to have. Exactly. Thank you, Queen. This is a real conversation. And some people haven't gone through this. Well, I think that's wonderful if you hadn't gone through this. But if you're like a lot of women, we've been through things and different things happen in our life, but we need to come up with a way to keep our women off of poverty, off of welfare, off of, you know what I mean? And I remember an older woman that said that she's gone now, but I remember her saying she didn't turn herself on, and the man would keep coming back to her. He would keep coming back to her, and she would have a child. So it's two people's responsibility. Ashley said, I'm 25, unmarried dude, doing good in life and plan to stay single forever. Just here to learn and hear your opinion, guys and ladies. All right. Well, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashley. I hope one day, if it be the Lord's will, there's nothing wrong with marriage. I want to say marriage is beautiful. I want to say that. And, my marriage hadn't always been sweetie pie honey bunch, but I still feel marriage is beautiful. I believe marriage is beautiful. And I'm not going to downplay it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because God honors marriage. And we talked about that just not too long ago on this Husbands Love Your Wives. God honors marriage, you all. And I really like it. Marriage is beautiful, but these days it's like one-way trip, either heaven or hell, LOL. All right. I understand. Legal and policy issues debate, punishment versus rehabilitation. Should the system focus on punishing fathers or helping them earn and reconnect. Now, that was the question on the poll, you all. The question on the poll was, should men go to jail, the deadbeat dads? That was the question. Should deadbeat dads go to jail? Now it says, that's good, Ashes. It's great to see perspectives, to learn and get alternate views. I would say God's way is always best, no matter what the world is suggesting. That's true. Nature Nat. All right. Men are not committing to relationships because they worried about being held responsible. The only thing, I understand that men are not committed to relationships, but a lot of times men, they might not commit to relationship, but they commit to having sexual activity before marriage. And that's just the way it is sometimes. Now, it is. The truth is the truth. They want to have intimacy before they want to have intimacy. You all know come on, I need somebody to show me some love on here. They want intimacy, but they don't want to come with the marriage. And they don't want people to even talk about marriage to them. Okay? They don't want people to talk about marriage. But God honors marriage. Okay? And the question is, should deadbeat dads go to jail? If you're neglecting your children, if you're neglecting your child, and I'm going to tell you something, you're neglecting your child if you're just paying $25 a week, and you know you can pay more than that. You know you can give more than that. Just because the court tells you that this is the amount you have to pay. Just because the court tells you, let me tell you something. I have a lot of children, you all, natural children, spiritual children. I have a lot of children. And I want to tell you all, no court had to tell me anything about taking care of my children. I didn't need no court to tell me to love my children. I didn't need any court system to tell me to put my money on toward my children. All right? I didn't need that. And for anyone to need to go to court to take care of their child, and I know courts is good for some people because some people just can't get it. All right. Now let's see what Adam said. There's a great saying called F around. I wanted to see what he was saying here. Around and find out. That's what happened when you agree to be intimate before marriage. You're disrespecting the Lord as well as risking your future for just some fun. Exactly. Yes, Isa said, what is $25? That ain't enough for wipes. Oh. And children nowadays, they need more than wipes. But they need, these mothers need help, you all. And my question is, should a deadbeat dad, a person that is neglecting the financial and emotional and physical, should a deadbeat dad go to jail? Should they go to jail? Come on now. Because if you're not doing your job, do you need to be free to do everything that you want to do because you're not doing your job with your children? And what type of barrier, what is that on that child mind that sees that their dad is not doing what they need? They might come home and say, Mom, I need some fee money for school. Mom, I need this. Anybody that has children in school, they just went back to school not too long ago. Some of them are not in yet, but most of them in school now. And you all know if you have children and you're in your children in school, you know the needs of your children. All right. And is it right for a man to not help in any way? What that child feeds, what the child food, what the child clothing. Is that what, I mean, you can cry about that because who's suffering? The children. The children are suffering because of disagreement and conflict, and the dad wants to go and do this and do that. The children are suffering. The dad would rather go get a joint or cocaine or whatever. They'd rather do substance abuse. They'd rather go get some slits. Well, it might not be slits anymore. What is it? Bull? What is it? The beer that's big now. I can't think of what it is. I don't drink it. Bud Light. I don't drink it, so I don't, But, they'd rather go get a Bud Light, a case of Bud Light, not just one. They coming out the store with a case and know they need to take care of their children. And what are we doing about it? What are we doing? What is America doing? They're saying that you can get on food stamps and welfare, but God wants us to fare well. He don't really want us to be on welfare, but this is what the government has. All right, let's see right here. Mothers struggling with unpaid child support, fathers who changed and stepped up later in life highlight that not all absent dads are, okay, this is what I said in the beginning. Not all absent dads are deadbeats. Not all absent dads, some are, going through some different things. And we're talking about reality. We're talking about reality. And I want to share this because ladies, let me say this here. My favorite is when they take more than half. The mother refuses to let you see your children caught on every weekend, yet the father is still the deadbeat. And now it says, I do believe that is exactly what is happening for a lot of us. There are no pleasing these women. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's address that. There are some women, they use the children to fight back at the man. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Come on. Call your neighbor and your friends and let's talk about this. They use the child to get back at the man. See, and so you're not going over there this weekend, And that does nothing but what? Put more fire in the man, more upset. That's why I stay away from all these now. I'd rather take care of my parents than get into such mess. But it don't always have to be a mess. I want to say that. All right, when she wants you to babysit so she can go out and party. See, that's what I'm saying. Some women, But the thing is, men, and I know somebody might get upset with this, but I want to say this anyway. Choose wisely. When you're choosing a woman that you want to be your life partner, choose wisely. Know who you are getting yourself involved in with. Who, come on. And then Major Plus says this, what about the mothers that keep their kids away from their father because they moved on? Oh my goodness. See, it's all kinds of conflict that you have to deal with. And my Merca said welfare has been educated into these foods. It's a way of life for them. And that's not good because we're going to have something that's going to be after a while. You can't stay on welfare. Are the children named from Monday to Sunday? Lord have mercy. So what I'm trying to say is this right here, you all. The question is, should deadbeat dads go to jail? Now, one of the other questions I want to ask, because, see, you can be in a toxic relationship. You can be in a toxic relationship, and we're praying that everybody be in a healthy relationship. But if you get into a toxic relationship, then that's even more conflict. And who's going to suffer? I'm going to say it again. Who's going to suffer? The children. So if you don't get anything else out of this podcast, I want you all to get this. Whatever decisions you make, ladies, whatever decision you make, gentlemen, think about the children. I want you all to think about the children. And I want to bring about some solutions maybe that can help these men, deadbeat dads. All right, Ashley said people should get educated about sexual education. If you're that wild, there's protection. Come on. Exactly. And make look and laughing. But it's true. If you that wild and can't control yourself, come on.
I'm not gonna know. He said children name from Monday to Thursday.
Monday, oh my goodness. Listen.
Africa,
And-
I saw one with 7 kids and 7 fathers collected 3,500.
Oh, okay. So let's talk a little bit before we go. I want to share some of, we always want to find a resolution. We always want a solution to whatever problem that we're having, right? We want to know about what is the solution for this? What is the solution for the deadbeat dad? Stop being a deadbeat dad. If you have children, take care of your children. Because I want to tell you something. They're young now, but they're going to grow up. And they're going to remember what dad did for them. Now, if you can go out and wring an umbrella, what? Okay. All right. That's just wow. All right now. Great comment. Great. All right. Programs that help fathers find jobs and meet obligation. Fatherhood initiatives. Programs that help fathers. See, this will help you not to be a deadbeat dad. And think of your children. Think of your family. Instead of taking your money and doing other things with it. Programs that help fathers find jobs and meet obligation. Mediation instead of punishment to repair relationships. Exactly. You need to repair the relationship and get together and say, listen, let's think about these children. Husbands, dads, even if you're not married to the young lady, dads, I'm going to say this, talk to the lady and say, what can we do for the betterment of our child? What can we do to make things easier for them and make things better for them? Financial literacy and employment support for struggling dads. See, that's something that the United States probably need to get into. To make sure those dads are working and make sure that they're taking care of their children. Encourage responsible fatherhood, presence, not just payment. I say it again. I'm going to say it again. These children, your children might be young now, and they don't really know. But one day those children are going to get older. One day these children are going to grow up. And they're going to remember what dad did for them. They're going to remember how you spoke to their mother. They're going to remember everything. Let's know what we're doing. All right, Ashley said this should be taught in the schools. Correct. People should be taught that love is beautiful, marriage is beautiful, not a mere contract. Right. I totally agree. This should be taught in school. When you decide to get married, when you decide to have children, you are responsible for a whole nother being. You're responsible for a whole nother person. All right? You're responsible. And so I just want to share. Okay, Nana, let's see what she says. Along with credit, correct, for real. Emotional intelligence should be taught as well. We don't know how to have healthy relationships. And that's what we want to talk about, you all. Next week, I want to talk about toxic relationships. Because some people don't know that they're in a toxic relationship. And a lot of times when you're in a toxic relationship, you just want to get out of it. Okay? You just want to get out of that relationship. You say, okay, this is too much for me. I can't take it. But then who suffers if you don't have a level head? If you don't have a level head and have a plan, who suffers? If there's children involved, it's going to be the children. It's going to be the children, you all. And you all might not be having that problem now, but things happen in life. I want to share that. You might not see this now, but Emmett Till's mother has said that she knew that would never happen to her child, what happened to him, because in the South, there was so much racism going on in the South. And she said, oh, she's not going to worry. She sent her son on down here, and she said, I'm not worried about that. That could never happen to my son. I'm saying that to say this. You might think, oh, that would never happen to me. Would never be so sure, because life is funny. The very thing that you think is not going to happen to you, it just might happen to you. And we should walk with a mind, a sense of empathy. Okay? And we should work together to build relationships. We should work together to build good fathers. Okay? I just want to share that, you all. And if you don't, let's recap a little bit. Let's recap. All right, the main points is the statistics. It's 25%. What did we say earlier? Over 25% of children live without their biological father in the home. Custodial mothers are owed about $23 billion annually in unpaid child support. We're talking about deadbeat dads. Roughly 30% of custodian parents receive none of the child support they are owed. That is so true. Only 43% of custodian parents receive the full child support amount due each year. On average, children who do not live with their father, now listen up everybody, I want you all to hear this one. On average, children who do not live with their father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty. Okay? That's the statistics. Statistics. And some people, some guys, some men are not deadbeat dads because they're just not. Because they have a mind to take care of their families. And they have not left. All right? Children need their fathers. Responsibility in love is love in action. What is love in action? Children need their fathers. I'm going to say that. All of my children are grown, you all, but I know what it's like. Love in action is what? Fathers, dads, let's be responsible for our children, for your children. They may be young now, but they're going to remember what you did for them, how you treated them, what you gave them. Okay, they're going to remember when they were in school and they needed things. Ashley said this, the child not only needs the money, he needs a father figure. He needs a fatherly figure. There should be counseling for the dads. For both parents should be counsel. Humans make mistakes, but can be corrected. Thank you so much for that comment. And that is so true. Because that child, a lot of times I've talked to different people, a lot of times children really hate that their parents don't get along, whether you're married or not. They hate that their parents don't get along. And some children blame themselves. And they say, it's because of me, mom and dad doesn't get along. It's because of me that they're always arguing. It's because of me. Maybe if I wasn't here, this might not would have happened. The arguing, the yelling, the fussing, the disagreements, fighting over money, the toxic relationship. And you all, I want us to talk about it. I want us to talk about the toxic relationship. Okay? This is and we should not have so much toxicity it going on in front of the children. Because they're just little people. They're just little people. Children with such problems turn heartless. Can't blame them. It's what the situation makes them. Exactly. And as we said before, it increases likelihood of entering the criminal justice system. Some people are just mad because of what they have had to go through as children. They're upset and they'll just do anything. All right? They just do anything. And I want to tell you all, thank you so much for coming on today. And, we talked about the solution, programs that help fathers find jobs and meet obligation, mediation instead of punishment to repair relationships, financial literacy and employment support for struggling dads, encourage responsibility fatherhood, encourage responsible fatherhood presence. It's nothing wrong with the dad going over and hugging your children. Going on and say, how you been doing, sweetheart? I love you. Even though things are going rough for me and your mom, I love you. Ashley said the first step should be introducing this as a compulsory subject in the school. Education is very important. If the children understand it when they are young at heart, the world shall heal. I love that. I love that. Ashes, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but that is so true. Education is powerful. Education is powerful. And I thank everyone. I want to say thank you so much for all of you all that have joined in this conversation. Deadbeat dads. I need somebody. Let's see what that poll said. We got 20 votes. Let's see what they said. Who won? Should deadbeat dad? Listen. Before we leave you all, let's talk about this a little bit. The question was, should deadbeat dads go to jail? 75% said yes. 75% said yes, and only 25% said no. So the majority wins. They're saying yes, send them to jail. And I would love to ask the question, why? Why should they go to jail? But I've seen a lot of things in my life, and one of them is, the mother struggling. I've seen it. The mother struggling with the children, and the dad is somewhere just doing his own thing. Just doing his own thing. I thank you all for tuning in to Husbands Love Your Wives. I hope you all, everyone has, let's see, John Enterprise says everyone has different circumstances, and that's very true. But deadbeat dads, it should not be, because you still need to come. I don't care if you don't have a job. You still can come around and do something to help your children. We don't need you to go ghost because things are getting hard for you. We don't need, I'm saying this to all dads that is being called a deadbeat dad. We don't need you to go ghost just because things are getting hard. We don't need that. We need dads to stick by those children no matter what. Stick by your children. Help them along the way. Jail, yes, if they are doing it on purpose. Jail, no, if they are not doing it on purpose. That's correct. And that's very true. I'm going to ask you all to please like, share, and subscribe. Let people know about Husband Love Your Wives. This is what we do. We come on here and we talk about different subjects, and we want to help. We can help you in any type of way. We would love to do it if we're allowed to, and that's what we do. We come on and we talk about different situations, and we ask that you all let us know how you feel about it and what's your thoughts on this. I love you all, And I hope you all come back next week on Husband Love Your Wives. We're here every Sunday at 3 p.m. So you all please tell your friends about it and share this podcast. We're going to put it up. Share this podcast with some of your family and your friends and people that you may know that it will help. People that you know that may be helped by this conversation. We love you all, and you know what, I want to say this. We pray for strength for everyone. We pray for strength. This is what Ashley said. You should change the name to Love Your Partners. And well, I love you all, and that you're right, we should love one another. I just want to say that. And I hope you all come back and with us on next Sunday at Husband Love Your Wives at 3 p.m. We love you all, and we want to say, hang on in there, ladies. I want to say this right here. Hang on in there. Hang on in there. Because help is on the way. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. Your children are not going to be, listen, everything changes, Josh. Everything changes. Everything changes. And your children are not going to be little always. And you're going to make it. You're going to make it. That's what I want to say. You're going to make it. And I love you all, and I hope to see you all next Sunday. Peace. Have a blessed day.